And when I say this is it really means this is it.
2009, the last year of the aughts. We made it, folks.
Now it's time to end!
We saw a historical presidential moment, a media juggernaut buying another media juggernaut, and financial advancements and innovations. We also saw the release of classic shows, movies, and music, while reckoning with the deaths of several icons. So we're going to take you through the news, culture, sports, entertainment, and all that was weird in the 2000s. This is Timeline. Watch out for swine flu, because this one is all about 2009. But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to the Weird History channel and let us know in the comments below your favorite memory from the aughts. Now, are you ready to learn what happened in the International Year of Astronomy, Natural Fibers, and the Gorilla? This is 2009.
I can feel it down in my lungs.
On January 3rd, 2009, Satoshi Nakamoto kicked off the year by mining the first block for the now controversial cryptocurrency and decentralized payment system known as Bitcoin. 9 days later, Nakamoto would make the first Bitcoin transaction by sending 10 Bitcoins to computer scientist Hal Finney, and no one knows how to explain it to this day.
I have nothing to do with Bitcoin.
On January 12th, Cristiano Ronaldo was awarded his first FIFA World Player of the Year award at a ceremony in Switzerland. Determined by a vote of national team coaches and captains, Ronaldo won by a record margin, prevailing over legendary Lionel Messi by over 250 votes. Goal! Things got scary for U.S. Airways Flight 1549 on January 15th, when a loss of engine power forced Captain Sully Sullenberger to make an emergency landing in New York's Hudson River. In what would become known as the Miracle on the Hudson, Sully successfully brought the plane down, and all 155 people on board were rescued, inspiring Clint Eastwood to make a movie about it.
We've lost thrust on both engines. We are turning back towards LaGuardia.
Hey, you need to return to LaGuardia?
We are unable. We may end up in the Hudson.
American history was made on January 20th, when Illinois Senator Barack Obama was sworn in as the 44th President of the United States, becoming the first African American to ever hold the office.
Preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
So help you God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Obama, who was administered his oath by Chief Justice John Roberts at the United States Capitol, would serve in the Oval Office for 8 years. On January 28th, Julian Assange's whistleblowing website, WikiLeaks, released 86 intercepted telephone recordings of politicians and businessmen involved in the 2008 Peru oil scandal. Among other things, the recordings, which kicked off the scandal dubbed Petrogate, captured the participants agreeing to pay a bribe in exchange for lucrative oil contracts.
Gentlemen, start your engines. May the best woman win.
Never thought we'd see you go out like this, Tammy.
Buenas noches.
Hi, Tammy.
You're going down. I am beautiful.
On February 8th, pop star Rihanna canceled her performance at the Grammy Awards after being assaulted by then-boyfriend Chris Brown. The singer was set to perform with Justin Timberlake, but dropped out after Brown was accused of attacking an unnamed woman in a car. That woman was eventually confirmed to be Rihanna, who had visible injuries from the attack.
I'll say that to any young girl who's going through domestic violence. Don't react off of love. F love.
February 18th was a good day for English fantasy author Terry Pratchett, who received a knighthood from Queen Elizabeth II at Buckingham Palace. The 60-year-old author, best known for his long-running Discworld series, was recognized for having sold over 60 million books in his career. March 25th saw the release of Grindr, one of the first dating apps specifically for gay and bisexual men and transgender people. Founded by tech entrepreneur Joel Simkai, Grindr launched with both a free version, which allowed access to 100 profiles,
I like that guy. Yeah, he looks like the brother from Fresh Prince.
and a premium version for $2.99 that boasted twice as many profiles and no ads.
You got a lot of messages. Hey!
15 years later, it remains the most popular mobile app of its kind. The first case of the deadly H1N1 swine flu in the U.S. was reported in San Diego County, California on March 28th, and the second case would be reported in nearby Imperial County just 2 days later. From there, the epidemic would spread to Texas, New York, and then pretty much everywhere. More on that in a minute.
Committees make things happen. Committees are the lifeblood of our democratic system. That's really good. Write that down.
Yep.
From time to time, when I think of an eloquent saying or a phrase, I have Tom write it down. He's collected them from my memoirs.
Here's Leslie's quote from Wednesday.
Your PlayStation. My grandma won't stop watching Blu-ray movies on my PS3.
Look, for $299, you don't just get a sweet gaming machine. It's like you get the best Blu-ray player around built in for free. You know how old people like free stuff.
Yeah, but I want...
You know what she did for fun when she was your age? She pushed a hoop with a stick.
But I want to play...
With a stick.
On April 12th, the U.S. Navy rescued Captain Richard Phillips from the ship Maersk, Alabama. Phillips had been taken hostage in a lifeboat by Somali pirates on April 8th. The destroyer USS Bainbridge and the frigate USS Halliburton were dispatched to deal with the crisis, and rescued Phillips by dispatching 3 pirates and capturing a 4th.
I want to thank my crew. We did it. I told you it wasn't going to be if, it's going to be when.
A dramatic, true-life event like this is required to have a thrilling film adaptation. The inevitable Captain Phillips movie debuted in theaters on October 11th, 2013.
Look at me. Sure. I'm the captain now.
Why is Tom Hanks in all of these? Legendary record producer Phil Spector was found guilty of the second-degree murder of actress Lana Clarkson on April 13th.
We, the jury in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Philip Spector, guilty of the crime of second-degree murder.
Spector, famous for his work with Tina Turner, the Righteous Brothers, and the Beatles, would be sentenced to 19 years to life in prison, where he would die in 2021.
Well, we are going away for a romantic weekend to the Bahamas. In this day and age, it might be a good idea to take along some protection. What kind of protection?
2 armed Pinkerton guards.
The world lost a golden girl on April 25th when beloved actress Bea Arthur passed away from lung cancer at the age of 86. Arthur famously starred as Dorothy on the long-running sitcom The Golden Girls, as well as the eponymous character on the All in the Family spinoff Maude, and in the Star Wars Holiday Special. Once vaulted automobile company Chrysler filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection on April 30th. One of the big 3 American automakers, the company had little choice after failing to agree with its creditors before a federal government-imposed deadline. From 60 to 0, real quick. Love was in the air on May 1st after same-sex marriage became legal in Sweden. The first same-sex couple to take the plunge were Johan Lundqvist and Alf Karlsson, who were married in a ceremony at Stockholm City Hall.
It was reported that the Romulans were in one ship, one massive ship.
And you know of this Klingon attack. How?
Sir, I intercepted and translated the message myself.
We're warping into a trap, sir. The Romulans waiting for us. I promise you that.
At 2:01 p.m. Eastern Time on May 11th, the Space Shuttle Atlantis lifted off from NASA's Kennedy Space Center on a mission to visit the Hubble Space Telescope. The shuttle's crew was to perform 5 spacewalks that would upgrade the telescope with state-of-the-art instruments designed to expand its capabilities and extend its lifespan. All right, gang, Hubble up. On May 17th, the public got its first look at a still-in-development version of the sandbox video game Minecraft. Now known as the classic version, it was the first in a series of public tests that would lead to a full release in November of 2011. Minecraft would become the best-selling video game in history, with over 300 million copies sold. Little did we know, Minecraft would captivate the world for 2 decades and counting, leading to the inevitable release of A Minecraft Story on April 14th, 2025. But Tom Hanks isn't in this one.
Don't I know it?
2 days later, on May 19th, the Sri Lankan Civil War ended 26 years after it had begun, with the total military defeat of the Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam. Seeking to avoid government persecution, the Tigers sought to create an independent Tamil state in the northeast portion of the island, but the Sri Lankan government prevailed. The conflict would ultimately kill 50,000 soldiers from both sides and an estimated 100,000 civilians. May saw the debut of a hit TV show and some revisionist history from Quentin Tarantino.
You might laugh because every time I sign my name, I put a gold star after it, but it's a metaphor. And metaphors are important. My gold stars are a metaphor for me being a star.
If you want to win the war tonight, we have to make a deal.
I'm sure this mission of yours has a commanding officer. Ooh, that's a bingo.
I can feel it coming in the air tonight. You're the chorus line, guys. Oh, Lord.
Oh, jeez! Oh, why did you do that?
Mr. Tyson would like to know, why is this tiger in your bathroom?
On June 11th, the World Health Organization deemed the outbreak of the H1N1 influenza strain, commonly referred to as swine flu, to be the first official pandemic in 41 years.
And we will all get through this together.
By the end of the month, over 130 deaths nationwide would be attributed to the virus. Good thing we never had to deal with anything like that again, right? Right?
Date is June 12, 2009. This is the last thing broadcasted in analog TV.
The analog TV era came to an end in the U.S. on June 12th, when the FCC mandated that all television broadcast signals switch from analog NTSC to digital ATSC transmission. Luckily, since the changeover had been long in the works, most U.S. households were already prepared with digital televisions or had made the switch by using a digital converter box.
No more analog! Yeah, no more analog!
Done! 1, 2, 3. Oh my God, it's
cold! This is a library, not a lunchroom.
Hey, a book about wrestling?
Gushers fruit-flavored snacks.
Very, very sad news. Michael Jackson has died.
On June 25th, Michael Jackson, the king of pop, died of cardiac arrest in his Los Angeles home at the age of 50. One of the most commercially successful performers of all time, Jackson was famous for his work with the Jackson 5 and his solo albums like Thriller. Odds are you've heard one of his songs today. A memorial attended by over 20,000 fans and watched by 30 million people worldwide would follow on July 7th. The long arm of the law finally caught up with financier Bernie Madoff on June 29th, when he was sentenced to 150 years in prison for running the largest Ponzi scheme in history. Madoff apologized to his victims, but the judge nonetheless described him as extraordinarily evil and gave him the maximum possible sentence. Madoff, however, would only serve 12 of those 150 years. The man behind one of the most financially devastating cons of all time would die of hypertension and chronic kidney disease at the age of 82. We're never getting any of that money back, are we? The observation deck in the crown of the Statue of Liberty was closed immediately after the events of September 11, 2001. But while the rest of the statue reopened in 2004, the crown wouldn't reopen until 2009, appropriately enough, on July 4th. Accessing the crown, however, means climbing a 168-step spiral staircase, which had new handrails installed while it was closed. Couldn't Lady Liberty have an escalator? On July 17th, legendary TV news anchor Walter Cronkite died of cerebral vascular disease in his Manhattan home at the age of 92. The most prominent anchorman of television's golden age, Cronkite sat behind the desk at CBS News from 1962 to 1981 and was long known as the most trusted man in America. Then, on July 22nd, the heavens aligned, creating a total solar eclipse, the period of the eclipse in which the moon completely covered the sun, which astronomers call the totality, lasted an astounding 6 minutes and 39 seconds, making it, as of August 2024, the longest total solar eclipse of the 21st century. Where is Bonnie Tyler when you need her? Baseball fans at Chicago's Cellular Field witnessed history on July 23rd when Mark Burley of the White Sox became just the 18th pitcher to ever throw a perfect game.
I did a no-hitter. I was surprised as can be when I do that.
The win, which also constituted the 263rd no-hitter in the history of the sport, came at the expense of the Tampa Bay Rays. In June of 2009, North Korea sentenced 2 American reporters to 12 years of hard labor for illegal entry and engaging in hostile acts. But on August 4th, former President Bill Clinton met with Kim Jong-il to secure their release. The visit, which came while the U.S. and Korea were at odds over nuclear weapons, was the first such visit by a former president since Jimmy Carter in 1994.
When we walked through the doors, we saw President Bill Clinton. We knew the nightmare of our lives was finally coming to an end.
An era in American politics came to an end on August 25th when Senator Ted Kennedy died of brain cancer at his home in Hyannisport, Massachusetts at the age of 77. The brother of 2 iconic politicians, President John F. Kennedy and Attorney General Robert F. Kennedy, Ted Kennedy served in the Senate for 50 years under 10 different presidents. Citing an inability to work with his brother Liam even a day longer, guitarist Noel Gallagher quit the British pop rock band Oasis on August 28th. While the famously contentious brothers were often at each other's throats, neither had ever actually quit before. That wall is looking less wondery every day. On August 31st, the Walt Disney Company announced it had agreed to acquire Marvel Entertainment for $4.24 billion.
The acquisition of Marvel offers a unique opportunity to grow our businesses and to build long-term value for our shareholders.
The move, which came just 5 years after Disney bought the Muppets and 3 years after they bought Pixar, would give Disney ownership of one of the most iconic collections of superheroes in history. Maybe they could make some kind of cinematic universe with all that stuff. Just an idea.
I don't do commercials. It's not my thing. Conan, this is different. It's a ton of money, and it's only going to be seen in Sweden. All the Hollywood guys do this. This one commercial couldn't hurt. Bud Light.
Vroom, vroom, der party starter.
Vroom, vroom, party starter.
Hey, Conan!
Vroom, vroom, party starter. Party starter.
After a 20-month battle with pancreatic cancer, actor Patrick Swayze passed away on September 14th at the age of 57.
Together we can make the world where cancer no longer means living with fear, without hope, or worse.
People magazine's Sexiest Man Alive of 1991, Swayze was famous for his appearances in iconic films like Roadhouse, Dirty Dancing, and Point Break. He died with his wife and brother at his side, and his ashes were scattered on his New Mexico ranch, just like Dalton would have wanted.
Tell me exactly what you did with your life to end up here so I don't make the same mistakes! Excuse me!
But it's springtime, and I thought I might woo a few chicks. No one to watch while we're kissing.
Hey! What the heck?
Is that Archer?
God damn it.
About your operations account.
Not, Cyril, not now.
I'm sure you wouldn't use operational funds for personal expenses.
After 72 years and over 15,000 episodes, the soap opera Guiding Light finally ended its run on September 18th. The ultra-long running series started as a radio broadcast back in 1937 and made the jump to television in 1952. The big finale ended with its two main characters getting married and driving off together in search of adventure.
Now, who is coconuts enough to divorce you?
But we'll see you around.
Well, we'll have to have you over sometime.
I'd love it.
All right.
Bye.
She's awesome.
No, we are never having her over. Heard she already slept with 2 dads from the school.
What?
Mm-hmm.
That's horrible.
Tragedy struck on October 14th when pro wrestling villain turned pop culture icon Captain Lou Albano died of a heart attack at 76.
No, I'm the Captain David. I'm merely the guiding light. I dub myself as the captain. I'm the maker of 14 tag team champions, and that's what the name Captain came from.
In addition to wrestling, Albano was known for his appearance as Cyndi Lauper's father in the iconic Girls Just Want to Have Fun music video and his role as Super Mario on the live-action TV series.
Just like that!
On October 25th, Ivanka Trump, daughter of real estate developer and future U.S. President Donald Trump, married Jared Kushner at Trump National Golf Club in Bedminster, New Jersey. Over 500 guests attended the wedding. Hope people yelled "for" in time. 13 years later, Donald Trump would bury his ex-wife Ivana on the very same golf course after she died from injuries sustained during a fall at her New York home. The burial sparked rumors that Trump was trying to save money on taxes via a loophole that exempted cemetery companies. But others pointed out that Trump himself had expressed a desire to be buried on that same golf course. Would his grave be on a par 5 or 3 or... After 6 months of beta testing, Riot Games released the multiplayer online battle arena video game League of Legends as a free-to-play title on October 27th. The original version came with 40 champions, and within 3 short years, League of Legends would become the single most played video game in the world. Take that, Minecraft guys! On November 4th, the New York Yankees beat the Philadelphia Phillies in Game 6 of the World Series at Yankee Stadium.
To the second baseman, Cano. The Yankees are back on top.
The 7-3 victory would win the Bronx Bombers a record 27th World Championship. Outfielder Hideki Matsui won the World Series MVP award and looked good in pinstripes doing it. The following day, November 5th, U.S. Army Major and psychiatrist Nadal Hassan shot and killed 13 people and wounded 43 others at Fort Hood, Texas. The shooting, which as of August 2024 remains the deadliest mass shooting on an American military base, was motivated by Hassan's radical religious views. He was sentenced to death for his crime and, as of August 2024, remains incarcerated awaiting execution. On November 23rd, 58 people were killed in the town of Ampatuan in the Philippines' southern province of Maguindanao del Sur. The victims of what would become known as the Maguindanao Massacre, which included 30 journalists and the wife of a popular politician, were buried in a shallow grave on a hilltop. The slayings were over a local power struggle, and it would be 10 years before the perpetrators were finally tried and sentenced to life in prison. Released on November 23rd, Susan Boyle's debut record, I Dreamed a Dream, would go on to become the year's best-selling album. Boyle rose to fame on the competition show Britain's Got Talent, where she ultimately finished second despite being widely favored to win. Nonetheless, she was quickly signed to Simon Cowell's record label, and that guy's a grump, so you know she's good. On December 10th, President Barack Obama showed up in Oslo to accept the Nobel Peace Prize.
The nonviolence practiced by men like Gandhi and King may not have been practical or possible in every circumstance, but the love that they preached, that must always be the North Star that guides us on our journey.
Obama had been nominated 12 days after becoming president in 2008 for his extraordinary efforts to strengthen international diplomacy and cooperation between peoples. The decision made Obama the fourth U.S. president to receive the award after Theodore Roosevelt, Woodrow Wilson, and Jimmy Carter. Carter went to North Korea and won the Peace Prize. That guy's got versatility. A day later, on December 11th, the Finnish puzzle video game Angry Birds was released internationally for iOS. In fact, the year 2009 influenced its character design, as the now iconic enemy pigs were selected because of the swine flu epidemic. Within 5 years, the game would be downloaded over 2 billion times. Mario, Minecraft, and League of Legends guys, maybe y'all can team up.
Listen to me. You're not used to your avatar body. This is dangerous.
This is great.
Hey, Marine!
Grace?
Well, who'd you expect, numbnuts?
Finally, at 10:04 a.m. on December 20th, actress Brittany Murphy died of cardiac arrest brought on by pneumonia at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles. The 32-year-old Murphy, famous for her roles in Clueless, King of the Hill, and 8 Mile, was buried at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Hollywood Hills, California. And that's how 2009 ended, with a sudden passing of a young star, gamers flinging birds at pigs, and everyone wishing they could run through the forest of Pandora and fly around on one of those dragon things. The world had changed forever, and the next decade wouldn't be any easier. But as for the aughts, well, folks, that's all she wrote. So what do you think? What was your fondest memory of 2009? Let us know in the comments below, and while you're at it, check out some of these other timeline videos.